You are a 23-year-old artist who is just about starting out in 2015. Your first major hit single got you featuring African music giants like Wizkid and AKA The Future Already Looks So Bright. You win prestigious national music awards with your debut album later that year, rocking shoulders with your country's very best in the game on various music charts. Then within a space of just 2 years, everything comes crashing down. In the very years you were supposed to be hitting your peak and taking your craft to the next level, your personal life just would not let you. You start dealing drugs, you collapse on stage while performing, and even start abusing your pregnant wife. This is the story of Emtee, the South African hip-hop and trap music prince who never became king. Born and bred in Rockville, Soweto on September 17, 1992, South African rapper Mthembeni Ndlovu, widely known as Emtee, has always dreamt of becoming an artist, and he worked super hard to make it a reality. As early as age 9, Emtee took the stage to introduce himself at a Uwille primary school talent event. And by age 17, he had started making his own money from music by becoming the music instructor in other schools. Though his high school grades were simply not good enough to grant him entry into prominent universities in South Africa, rapping on trap music beats gave Emtee more satisfaction than he would have ever wished for. Besides, he had already started making his own money anyway. University education was definitely not a priority at that point. Before going solo, and obviously before the fame, Emtee was a member of African Trap Movement, a rap trio alongside 2 other South African rappers, Shaba, Saudi, and their producer Ruff. They were all later signed by Ambitious Entertainment. The beginning of life as a new Ambitious Entertainment signee and mainstream artist is everything Emtee dreamed of. In early 2015, Emtee's debut single, Roll Up, did impressive numbers on relevant charts. Here is an interesting fact. The song was recorded and finalized in just 2 hours. Pull Up received major radio play in Southern Africa and peaked at the top of the renowned DJ Speedsta's hip-hop chart on YFM. Following the success of Pull Up, in December that year, Emtee continued to ride his beginner's luck by releasing his debut album, Avery, named after his first son. Avery would just go on to magnify the fortunes Pull Up brought, earning Emtee 5 nominations at the 22nd South African Music Awards. That night, South African music lovers watched on in awe as Emtee bagged Rap Album of the Year and Song of the Year like a boss. One statement read on everyone's lips: "A king is born." The awards and recognitions did not end there. Emtee with Pull Up won Song of the Year again, this time at the South Africa Hip Hop Awards 2015. By end of 2015, Emtee became the South African hip-hop artist with 3rd most radio plays all over the country. Remarkable start. 2016 too was kind to Emtee. Emtee had started gaining fame, and in what was regarded as an unprecedented event, he managed to get a feature from Nigerian Afrobeat music sensation Wizkid and renowned South African rapper, AKA on the remix to his debut hit song, Pull Up. He called this one Pull Up Re-Up. Pull Up Re-Up won Best Remix at the 15th Metro FM Awards 2016, followed by a WBET Awards nomination that same year. Emtee's stocks were rising rapidly at this point that even doubters had become believers. And then 2017 happened. 2017 started off well for Emtee as he dropped his 2nd studio album, Manando. Emtee had now become a household name in South African rap music, and his tunes were literally everywhere, both at home and across the continent. And as he found much success in the commercial side of his music, his digital presence also heightened. His social media followers grew and grew in the significant millions. Then again, I need to remind you that this was the most crucial period in every young artist's life, because they were now starting to handle real fame for the first time, and the probability that they would snap is usually at an all-time high. Ever wondered why some big-time record labels still handle the social media accounts of their signees all through and through? This was the reason. Emtee had started to be more and more prevalent on social media, precisely Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. And you see, social media has its own addictive demons in the constant strife for attention and trends. And these demons were soon catching up with Emtee. Well, you cannot even blame him because was still riding the wave of the success of his first and second studio albums. And then in October that year, everyone's fears came to pass. What? Emtee lost control as he showed his genitalia on Instagram, lived to an audience of about 737,000. South African social media and traditional media were thrown into a frenzy over this careless and irresponsible showing of Emtee. Of course, Emtee got his stans and loyal fans to support and forgive him, but South African and international music lovers never really did, and this was just the beginning of the end. Now this is July 2018, just 9 months after Emtee's infamous IG reveal, and so it is natural to think he was on an image-cleansing tour. Emtee was booked to perform at one event in Limpopo, and to everyone's surprise, shortly after mounting the stage, Emtee suddenly collapsed. This worrying scene came after fans accused Emtee for appearing on stage high and lost for some of his recent shows. Now that IG genitalia reveal was starting to make a lot more sense. The following year, Emtee thought he could win back some public sympathy by marrying his childhood girlfriend Nicole Chimsamy, because of course, everyone loves a romantic love story, is that not it? But being the drug addict he had now become, Emtee would only abuse Nicole, whom he now had 3 children with, and you know what was more pathetic. Emtee would later cry foul play on social media, accusing Nicole of being controlling and calling her family bullies.
Break my arms. How do you go on live to humiliate your pregnant wife?
I want to show them.
Show them what?
Yeah.
Show them what? That you're crazy. How are you doing that to me?
You are crazy,
I'm
not me.
pregnant and I'm sick, and then you want to go on live and embarrass me for what?
Emtee's strategy seemed to be working until in November 2020, when Nicole broke her silence with regards to all she had had to endure for her children's sake. The latest twist in this dysfunctional marriage is Nicole's recent report to the police in March 2023 about how Emtee has been abusing her over the years, especially when she was 7 months pregnant with their 3rd child. Things keep getting messier for Emtee. On a career level, Emtee had started to sink. In August 2019, Emtee parted ways with Ambitious Entertainment, and while music fans lauded him for this bold move because Ambitious Entertainment had a stained record of screwing their artists, Emtee's decision afterwards to establish his own record label, Emtee Records, seemed grossly miscalculated. Maybe Emtee thought he was that guy, and that he had already made it when in fact, he was still just like a tadpole in South African mainstream music. Big mistake, otherwise. And I mean, if he was not anything like what Nicole had painted him out to be, why has his work ethics now dropped to an all-time low to the point where fellow industry players like DJ Tyra and DJ Mafarisa have taken to social media to call him out for ghosting them? And why has his online image, over the years, continued to rot so bad to the point where he has been reduced to a mere troll and sore loser who falls into every thirst trap? Time to admit, the man is never rising again on his feet. Well, this is such a bold claim to make, and as appalling as it may sound, but 2021 may have been just the last of what remained of the best of Emtee left. Why so? 2021 saw a minimal uprise of Emtee's music as he dropped his 4th studio album, Logan, named after his 2nd son, in April that year. Per his usual early eruptive standards, the album appeared to have performed quite okay on digital platforms, earning him both Album of the Year and Artist of the Decade nominations at the annual South Africa Music Awards ceremony, but he failed to win any of those categories. Not surprising at all. And as for both local and social media, it is almost as though Emtee's music had been blacklisted amidst all the brouhaha in recent years. The people have long moved on from Emtee, his inconsistent story, and eventually his music. And for Emtee, this is like the last straw. In March 2023, ex-convict turned artist, Jub Jub dropped the artwork for his much-anticipated single titled Soldier, which featured Emtee. The artwork featured the faces of the 2 rappers, fused into one, and music lovers could not help but be appalled. They tagged Emtee alongside Jub Jub as the soldiers South Africa never needed. From A King is Born to Was Soldier South Africa Never Needed in less than a decade. Oh, Emtee, what have you done?